How are you today?
I'm doing so good. I was practicing my opera. Me, 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 me. Me doing well. Got that get right light.
That's right.
How you feeling?
I feel great. I feel better today than I've felt in weeks.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, it's sunny outside. The skies are blue,
Indeed.
and the future is just waiting for us. New world is
I
just
see it.
waiting for us.
I see it. I see it. Can you see it? Can you see it? So, with the warming of the sun and the changing of the seasons, I can feel the biology being informed.
Yes.
I can feel as it gets brighter, there's more sun. We're
Yes.
moving out of winter. There's more energy available.
Right.
It's
The fluids
given.
are moving in the
Yes.
body.
Yes.
Uh, Things are quickening.
Indeed.
I feel it.
Yeah. So today we're talking about freedom. Freedom, sacral card. So for those who are joining in, our theme today is the call for the truth divination card, freedom, which is moving through the sacral. And the maxim is flexibility allows us to be free spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. When we are not free, we become stagnant. And this idea of freedom or freedom requiring flexibility, especially as it relates to the current circumstances that we're confronting in terms of humanity. We're going to explore and dive into that this afternoon. But before we do, a few announcements.
Okay.
So this evening we are having DNA activation and reconnection process. So join us in our moment of elevation as we reconnect the severed etheric portion of the DNA. This is also a prerequisite for those who desire to attend Quantum Light Property Clearing, and for those who would like to return back for a healing audit, meaning you've taken DNA activation and you just kind of want a little bump up. Join us just for the first day, and there's a link in the description. You can also find this on the homepage of the website, ofthesun.com. So there's a variety of different links in the description. Also light body movement. We're in the solar plexus.
Yes.
And it's feeling really good. Pulling in that solar plasma light. I'm telling you, I'm walking around feeling real different.
And the
And
sun is cooperating.
that part,
Yes.
we like this, and it's like, I am the sun. And a lot of this has to do with shifting identity,
Yes.
recognizing that we are light. And what I love about, again, light body is that it is practical embodiment. We're taking what may seem esoteric or airy fairy, but what does that look like in our day to day? How can we express this? And also, what are the noticeable shifts and changes when we embody more light? So we're having a really good time. And if you'd like to join us, we're together every first, second, third, and fourth Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, diving into the light body. And this is also for those who are wondering, because I've been getting asked this question, do you all have any type of community, any way to connect with others? This is where it's at, light body. That's where we're doing it. $45 a month, you're with us an hour and a half each Sunday. And it grants you access to all the past recordings. So we have several months going through the entire light body spectrum, as well as the root and the sacral and the current solar plexus. So join us in our embodiment of light. You have any thoughts on light body before we shift?
I can only encourage people who are looking for a deeper understanding of who we are, deeper understanding of where we're going, deeper understanding of how you can get there. Get yourself some light.
Yeah, get right light.
Okay, get right
Get
light
right
in
light.
light body.
Yes.
You can get the get right light in light body movement, and it's an open forum. Of course, there is an educational aspect.
Yes.
But we do open the floor for questions at the end of the class each week. And so this gives everyone an opportunity for voice, an opportunity to be heard, and an opportunity to commune in a community.
Well, certainly.
So I encourage everyone to join us in Light Body. The benefit so outweighs the time that you would spend, and so outweighs anything else that you might do on a Sunday evening. It's from 6 to 7:30 Eastern Time. So it's at a very good time of day as well.
Yeah.
So we encourage you, join us.
So also, in terms of Get Right Light, you can join us for our weekly meditations on Wednesday at 12 noon with Diane of the Sun, brought forth from Inlakesh Studio One. And the high frequency living section of our YouTube channel, Diane does every Wednesday at 12 noon meditations. Actually, there's one posted up yesterday going into the solar plexus. And again, this is something or an opportunity for you to get a little energetic bump up or charge up through the midday. Energy hygiene is very important here, and that's what we're teaching people to embody an energy hygiene lifestyle. So doing a little meditation in the midday is a nice way to stabilize yourself throughout the remainder of your day, sustaining your vibrational integrity of your field, as I like to say. You can also check Diane out on the first, second, third, and fourth Fridays. She also has an Evolutionary Book Club on the first Fridays of the month. As a matter of fact, she's going to take us into the Golden Compass. This book, it's recommended reading from LaOta regarding its. They have made several books of this, but also have made a TV show, and you will find that it touches on the reality of our world in terms of like the powers that have been obfuscating with life force and energy of the youth and things of that nature. It has some crossover with nature beings, animal spirits, things of that nature, but really documents the idea of what's happening on our planet, but through the narrative of what seems like fantasy. And I understand that the book was also banned in Britain, I think
Well,
it
it
was.
was banned by the Catholic Church, and they tried to stop the movies from being made and a whole variety of things.
Too much truth. They're like,
It really speaks to the deeper understanding of there being an entirely different world guiding this world.
yeah, and like
Like
dimensional realities.
And that, yes, and that there is a great effort to make sure that we remain unaware of the realities of creation that exist within our fields, the multidimensional aspects, the idea that animals are more than animals, the idea that there are dimensional worlds that we can easily get to, and there's exchange on both sides,
Yeah.
and that there is a shadow governing principle that is keeping everything tampered down so that you don't wake up.
That sounds like real life to me. Sounds like I see why they tried to ban the book.
Yes.
But too late. They made a movie. They made a really good series on HBO.
Yes.
His Dark Materials. We watched it. It was really good.
Yeah, so it's recommended reading, and Diane will be going over it. I think you'll find it interesting. It was written a while ago, but it still applies. It's still the same level of pressing down humanity and trying to make us think things that are not true.
Well, so much for that. We're in the time of truth.
Yes,
Truth is
absolutely.
surfacing. The lies
Absolutely.
being revealed. And so you can, again, first Friday of the month, you can catch Diane. And then second, third, and fourth Friday, you can catch her with the Divine Nation group card pool. So she works with the Call for the Truth Divination cards, doing a group card pool for the truth that needs to be heard at that time for the collective. And so it's a great way to engage. And there's often different guest hosts that are featured on there as well. And I understand I'll be featured, I think maybe this Friday, or is it next Friday? Yeah, I gotta check my calendar. She's like, next Friday, T. So, and she's here, by the way. She's always part of our audience. So thank you for joining us, Diane. And so one last announcement. In the month, well, two more. In the month of March, some of the classes to look forward to. You're gonna be having your soul translation class,
Yes.
freedom release technique, reclaiming your sovereignty from all the different institutions and agreements that have we have willingly, unconsciously given away our energy and our life force, and rounding that back up in a very detailed, intricate, yet effective way. You have some thoughts on this to share?
I'd like to share that what is yours remains yours, and you don't have to leave it where you left it. You can call it back. So you gave somebody the shirt off your back, and you can have your shirt back because it's yours.
That's right.
What belongs to you is eternally yours, and you may call it back to you.
Yeah.
So There's never a deficit. There's always, you know, things are just wherever you left them, and you can have them back again, because this is a frequency world, and you can call back that which is your frequency.
It's a powerful understanding.
It
I feel
is.
like it's poetically said, but I feel like for the listener, it can be implemented in so many compartments of life.
Yes, it's very interesting, because at different times in our life, you know, we give our loyalty to something, we give our money and our energy towards something that we then learn later is not really aligned with us, and then we move on to the next thing, and then it takes some of our energy, and then we end up, you know, 2 tanks low on fuel. But it's there.
Yeah.
We can call it back, and then we can move towards wholeness with greater understanding. So it's a wonderful class, because you can still be all that you were and all that you want to be, and then grow from there. There's no end to it. There's no end to the levels of how much you can be, how much you can get back from how much you gave away for whatever the reason was. When you have the clarity that is yours and you can have it back, and there's nothing wrong with that, because it's yours. You're not taking somebody else's anything. You're only taking what's yours. So I'll take that 3.5 years that we spent together back. Thank you very
Give me
much.
that back. So reclaim your sovereignty with LaOta. March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Tuesday of the month. This could be you. Right here. Get your pouch, get your backpack. You probably got a lot that you gave out. But that's the truth, you know?
Yes.
It's so much that's freely given unconsciously, and
we're in the time where we're going to need what is ours.
yeah.
And everyone will need it, and may everyone do that. You know, if you've got sticky notes attached to you that somebody gave you, you might want to, like, here, take your sticky
Yeah,
notes.
get your yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Speaking of which, another class we have going on this, oh, by the way, before we even move forward, if anyone's interested in this class, the prerequisite is sun calibration, which the basis is teaching you how to connect with your body's intelligence to get yes and no information. The framework for the soul translation class requires you to be capable of doing so. And for those who have taken sun calibration and or soul translation, you can schedule for tutoring with Lauren of the Sun to strengthen your calibration process. And so this is on the website. $35 an hour of tutoring can help you refine, fine-tune, getting in harmony and receptivity with your body's intelligence. And so also we have energetic protection and defense.
Yay.
Entry-level class. It's similar, but not the exact same thing in terms of like sending stuff back, calling back power. It's a little lightweight version, but something on like a day-to-day for maintenance, and also founded in understanding who and what we are. Protecting ourselves requires us to understand exactly what we are. When you know who you are, it's easier to not have to defend yourself.
Well, also the idea of cleanliness is close to godliness, in that if we could use the hygiene to keep ourselves clean, we broadcast to the morphic field our desire to remain pure, elevated, and clean. That's a wonderful thing, because what have we been broadcasting in the absence of that understanding?
Yeah, you see my face. It's like, yes. I'll just say distortion to keep it a little light here. But this made me think about, I had a discovery call with a client, and I was explaining to her about these classes, and she's like, is energetic protection and defense, is there any overlap with energy hygiene class? And I'm like, of course there is. You know, so it speaks to exactly what you're saying. The cleanliness keeps things off of us, just like a space, you know, you clean the cabinets, the floors, you don't have infestation or any type of little things nibbling off of you, off your life force.
Yeah, it's such a, everything is micro and macro understanding of this greater principle, that you don't wash the dishes, you'll have an overgrowth of things that you don't want on your dishes. You know, if you don't broadcast to the universe by washing them and cleaning them, then there will be no broadcast. If you do not send out that information, you will get whatever happens through the accumulation of what's on your dish is attractive. That's scary.
So essentially, keep yourself clean and clear. So thank you again, LaOta. So for anyone who wants to take the class, second, third, and fourth week of March on Thursdays, you can join us in this introductory class. There are no prerequisites required. So I want to give a shout out to everyone who's joining us. Seems like we got quite a few people. We see you in the chat. I want to give honor, respect, and gratitude briefly to everyone who's making your voice heard. We have Leon Eri and Lakesh and Veritas. We have Delilah Burrows, 1059, in Lakesh and Veritas, in Lakesh Studio 1. Lisbeth Alvarez, Stacy OTS 17, Stephanie Singletary 261, in Lakesh and Veritas to you all. I am Elijah Woods. Peace, abundance of prosperity, freedom, love, light. May we remain free of fear, free of lack, and free of doubt. No, that's right, Elijah. Serenia is in the house. In Lakesh Veritas, CC Tree. In Lakesh, we got True Intentions 144. A ton of wonderful emojis. Hearts, doves, peace signs, sun. Shaka Warrior here. Bonjour. Vibrant and spiritly free sun souls. I had to read that a little closely. A little lag time. Am I reading? Gina's in the house. In Lakesh Veritas. Balance and honor, respect and gratitude, dignity, discipline and action. Eternally grateful for LaOta, Tarvars, and of a Sun Universe. Thank you, Gina. You are always expressing your gratitude. We feel that. And Julianne's in the house. Beautiful day. Right back at you, Julianne. So we are here today. Everyone who's joining us, we're talking about freedom today.
Yes.
This is moving through the sacral. So we're experiencing or looking at this through the lens of our sacral chakra. And the maxim we're covering is flexibility allows us to be free spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. When we are not free, we become stagnant. So, would you take us to what are some of the initial understandings you like to get across today?
Well, it's interesting because when you say freedom and then give the explanation of flexibility as the first attribute, I'm thinking of let's just look at a tree that's unable to bend, that's brittle, and doesn't have the freedom to move with the wind without destroying itself. It's the same idea as people who procrastinate. They don't allow themselves to be free, so they're locked into a procrastination which lends itself to stagnation, which lends itself to disintegration. So it's necessary. Freedom isn't actually freedom without room to be free or the ability to be free. It's like having a body that's so clogged up, constipated, and sluggish and not moving that doesn't have the freedom to flow freely and be flexible, bend and walk and run and jump. That's not freedom. That's something else. Varying levels of stagnation and varying levels of disintegration. So it's to be free. One of the ways we can check is like, is my body free? Is my emotional body free? Am I stuck on what happened to me when I was 3? Am I still mad at my mother? Am I still pissed off at my lover, my ex-husband from 20 years ago? Am I able to be flexible in my thinking, to be alive, to move forward, to do the next thing, if I'm stuck in this stagnation of not being able to flow with the breeze, the way the wind is blowing? So here we are in 2026 in the middle of the reset, and the doors have opened. We're getting a flood of the truth. And is it that the truth is giving us the flexibility to release ourselves from the old lies? Can we release ourselves from what happened on the moon? What happened at 9/11? What happened to JFK? These are all things that have been out there for a long time and have been questioned for a long time, but now there's an avalanche on top of it. Can we be flexible enough to see that the truth, that within the truth is the freedom that would free us from this hypnotized world where we're being told what to think about everything? And we have so many examples of the war in Iraq, Vietnam. We had like every single thing in our unfortunate made-up history or history has not really been the truth. There are years missing, there's people missing, there's continents missing,
Yeah.
There's information about the moon missing, there's all kinds of things. So we don't really need to feel overwhelmed, we need to feel verified. I knew it. I heard about this. I was prepared. I can be flexible. This could free me. I don't need to be traumatized. Let's try truth instead of trauma. Let me see the world through truth instead of trauma. Everything that's happening is to inflict us with varying levels of trauma. Like, look at what they did, and look at what they did, and look who did it. But we don't have to see the world through the trauma. It's like, yeah, I had indications of that already. I will see the world through the truth. The event happened, but what you said about it, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't believe you anymore. So I can be in the truth. The first step is to relinquish the idea that you're being controlled by the narrative. When you're still arguing about what they're saying in the Senate, you're still in too far. When you're still arguing about, what ISIS's next move will be, you're in too far. The truth is the event is taking place, and the event should tell you everything you need to know. And any story around the event is just fiction. It's the spin to keep you from freedom and to keep you stuck so that if the wind blows too hard, you'll break instead of be able to move with it. So that's my thought on it.
Wow, I'm processing. I feel like the truth, I gotta sneeze. I've been holding it back to be polite, but you said a lot. You said a lot, LaOta. You've taken us into many different directions, from relationships, being stuck in the old, the trauma, not being able to continue to flow and move forward. I know you used the wind air analogy. I began to see it through water, but it's all one thing, the idea of continuing to move and be fluid.
Let me go right back to that relationship thing, because you just made me think about it. Everybody who ever had someone come to them and say, you say, well, why didn't you come home last night? And then they have a story.
Well, what happened was...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the story is. I'm telling you, look at the world like that. It doesn't matter what the story is. You know that the agreement was not upheld. That's all you need to know.
Damn, that's such a powerful
position
to be in, and like staying wrapped up in the story makes us break. It's like the stagnation.
Yeah.
I love what you were saying about the spin, though. Keep you stuck in the spiral of distraction, and it's almost like again, I'm looking at it from water. It's like you stuck in a vortex, like a ship that can't get out the whirlpool.
It's like, well, I need to know where you were. It don't matter where you were. You weren't here.
Yeah, period, the end. Keep
I
flowing.
need to know who you were with. It doesn't matter. You wasn't with me. It just doesn't, the story doesn't matter. Yeah. Just look at the facts. What actually happened? The building actually fell down. All right. Does it really matter what story they tell you that made the building fall down? If the pictures from the moon look like somebody did them in their backyard, does it really matter? Does it really matter whose backyard it was?
I need tissue now.
We have some right here. We got tissue.
I didn't expect you to get me with the laughter so much.
Well, but we're all caught up with the story. And humans We love a story.
We do.
We like to be around the campfire.
That's right.
We like to be. We like the television. Before the television, we like the radio. Tell
Yeah.
us the story.
Yeah.
We want the fantasy. We want the fantasy.
There's a hypnotism with it too.
Well, we love the story because it disassociates us from having to do anything. We can hear how the hero managed. You know, the story always has the
Yeah.
hero.
The hero's journey
Yeah,
started
so-
from nothing and then
And we
ended up
and we
victorious.
love, humanity loves that story. But the reality is that we have to be the story.
If I may, I'm looking at what humanity is doing with that lens. I don't see no hero in that story, the story that's being sold. It's just the drama and being stuck in the spiral of the drama. And it's like I wanted to talk about this on one of the pre-recording live streams, but it's funny because we're kind of touching on that subject right now, but it feels like everything is just a distraction. Like you say, the story itself is a distraction. Instead of just having these pinpoint markers of being informed and then the necessity to, now that I'm informed, I can pivot. Whether it's what's happening with the food industry, the air, pivoting where we shop, pivoting where we commune, pivoting with our reliance and dependency upon the government. But it's like the stuck in the story of waiting to see a hero, waiting for someone or something to sprout up so that we can get behind it.
I see it a little different, if I may share.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the hero is the one with the most money. I think in this dynamic, we're being led to believe all of the books, all of the movies, all of the sitcoms are all leading us to bow to the one who has the most stuff. Bow to them.
Well, I must say,
That's the hero of the story. And inadvertently, even secretly, even in our unconscious mind, we're like, yes, get that money, steal that money, launder that money, give it to all your children. You know, there's this impetus from the subconscious of humanity that has been cultivated to believe that the stuff means something, that that those who collect who want to map all the trees and own all the trees and own all the water, that they are the hero of the story, but they are not.
I see something a little different. I see humans seeing it and being upset. I feel like there's a little dual to it where they don't want it to happen, but I also see that some people don't want to relinquish the actual system. Some people would like to be that.
So I use your own dynamic to say, we didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't be happening. There are more of us than there are of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm with you. Yeah. True story.
Yeah. Like, if we didn't want it to happen, it would not be happening. We are in subconscious agreement in the morphic field of humanity on the earth plane that supports these things because we're the ones going and buying the things and give them the money.
So would you speak a little bit about, and we're still talking about freedom. We're still talking about flexibility and how we move. Of course, we have taken a very scenic path. I'm loving it. I'm like, oh, look over there. Look what's growing on that tree. I'm with you.
Because everything is everything.
Yeah.
So we're not really off path. We're just on another aspect of the everything.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So would you speak a little bit about what we're observing being humanity? Most people have this perception that the people who are in some sort of authority right now, we're separate from them. But could you speak more of like how this is a representation of us? I feel like you kind of touched on it. Would you go a little deeper?
What I just said is, you know, every gangster, every small town crook, every person who's fudging on their taxes, everybody who's lying to get more is part of that. We are in support there. The idea of being wholesome and having morals and being upright, you don't even hear those words in our lexicon anymore. No. Uprightness, being wholesomeness, moral certainty.
I heard that the word conscience it has not been used for quite some time, or it's kind of been moved
because
out.
It's
it's absent.
Obsolete.
Yeah.
in this environment. But we should bring back these words that connect directly to our DNA, because if we listen to the lyrics to the songs, if we look at what takes place in front of us, if we see people using the law to damage and hurt others, and then ignoring the law, like we're seeing both sides of it, which is really what you were saying. We're seeing both sides of it. It's like, I'm going to use the law to destroy you, but I'm also ignoring the law to be able to do other things. So we're living in this duality where there's no constant, which does not give us the stability to go for truth and honesty and correctness and dignity and honor, which you must have to be able to obey the laws and principles of creation. There must be honor, respect. Those things must exist, because who is it that would obey the law? If you are not honorable and part of creation, you don't have the basis to connect to that magnet. You can't magnetize to the laws and principles. So we have been made devoid. We have been demagnetized towards truth, honesty, correctness, wholesomeness, what is admirable, what is what we would like our children to grow into. We are being demagnetized through the music, through the educational process, through the computers, through the phones, all of that. So we don't have the energetic connections to the higher frequencies, which would allow us to be better to each other. That seems like, and that only in that space can we be free. Otherwise, we're a slave to the lower frequencies, to the gravitational pull of the earth plane. If there's no light on the earth plane to help us be upright, then the gravitational pull of the earth plane pulls us into whatever is other than that, in varying levels and degrees, and that's what we're seeing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. I see it.
So there's no flexibility in only having the choice to go down.
Yeah. Or the illusion of choice, which is all down. You can go down this way, or you can go down that way.
Yes, yes, exactly. So that it speaks to the card pull that there must be flexibility. There has to be. There's another card that speaks of this as well, that talks about there is no freedom without sacrifice. We have to throw something on the funeral pyre. I throw something on the fire. Like I throw cussing people out. I throw bad behavior. I throw lying. One of the things I talk to clients about most is stop lying.
Yeah.
Stop, because you're lying to you. And you mess around and you'll believe yourself. You know, you lie so hard, you'll be like, you know what? Maybe that did happen. But we must be free enough to walk the earth as the truth. And this is the opportunity we find ourselves in. We are not in a catastrophic situation. We are in an opportunity situation. We can now grow from this into the truth of being beings who are beings of truth, who walk the earth and imprint upon the earth the truth of our beingness. That's our opportunity right now. This is a glorious time to be free. You have to find some flexibility by sacrificing first the lying. Stop lying to yourself, and then stop lying to everybody else. Then the next doors will open for the next thing. Now you can honor yourself because you're not a liar. Now that you can honor yourself, you can adhere to the laws and principles of creation. Now the laws and principles of creation can support you in being a human. You see how that works?
Yeah.
And that's freedom. But there are levels.
It is, because in some cases I see humanity's been conditioned that freedom is like doing nothing. Freedom is what could be perceived as stagnation, like just sitting, being complacent, that you're free to do that. And
It's such a psyop,
there's a
isn't
built-in
it?
consequence to that. And what you're saying is, no, something is required to be free. It's just kind of like having discipline allows for freedom. But
Yes.
some people don't want, or the disposition that people have is, I don't want to be disciplined. It's a negative thing.
Yeah.
but it's actually a pathway to liberation.
Absolutely. It's really the the doing is the gift. The not doing is the punishment. So you're taught, don't ever do anything. And then we see what that leads
Isn't
to.
that crazy? Just
Yes.
kind of looking at it, it's like how we've been duped to think that,
I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going
yeah,
to cook. I'm not going to
stagnation.
clean. I'm going to order out my food. I'm not going to clean my house. I'm going to be free. I'm not going to work. But what we don't really realize is the reason, part of the reason we think that is everything is so painful. Work is painful. Trying to figure out what foods don't poison us is
Yeah, it's a big thing
taxing.
with people. They're like, I
Yeah,
can't eat anything. I can't even breathe. You
yeah,
know,
it's taxing, but we are not victim to this. If we would think about it, we can work our way around it. The darkness is not smarter than light. It's just persistent, you know. It's still there all the time, but it's not smarter than I'm going to figure out a way to grow some sprouts or do some microgreens or get some spirulina or like taste is not everything. Although it's good, you know, to have taste, it's not everything. Maybe you need to work on your brain working right.
yeah,
You
like
know,
pull back a bit from things that bring too much comfort. I feel like that's one of the bigger traps, comfort and conveniency, which it could be associated with stagnation.
I love what I learned. This is decades and decades ago when I was in Europe, living there for a couple of years, and they would say, "You Americans, you all are overfed, oversexed, and over here."
You're feeling some type of way.
But it's true.
Yeah, I'm not
We're
in denial of that.
overfed, which leads to being oversexed,
Yeah, it's
which
their
then
direct
leads
influence.
to not being a value add when you're somewhere else.
Yeah.
They don't feel like you're a value add because you're eating up everything and sleeping with
Yeah,
everybody.
take that back. Take that stuff back to America.
Yeah, so I think this is the I'm just gonna not do anything is the playground of those who are uninspired. And it's not like I don't understand it because we're cultivated to be uninspired.
Yeah.
We're cultivated to think, well, heaven feels like to me not going to work. Well, I see why that happens. I've been to work. I agree. You know, it feels like not going to work, but how about you think of something that will serve you?
I was just gonna ask, like, how can a person pop themselves out of that malaise? Because, as you say, we have been conditioned and molded to uh, lack inspiration, especially to do something that's out of the normalization of the system. Because all of this requires stepping away from the system and thinking differently, which people find so challenging. It's as though it takes so much energy to move outside, and you even mentioned the gravitational pull. So I see all of that. So you're kind of taking us there, but would you elaborate a little further? Like,
There,
like what would serve you?
I've talked about this before, but in my shaman training, I was asked, what is the one thing that I thought had been done to me that I would like to have undone? And I wanted to remove the fact that I thought someone was coming to save me. And I did. And it feels good.
I feel like you need to write a how-to guide or something, because it's a
So,
bunch of
yeah.
people that's like, when the aliens, when the white hats, when the Jesus or the mothership, who's gonna come and save us? There's
Yeah,
that
well,
disposition.
what have you done to inspire them to save you?
That's a good
And
question.
what do they get when they get you when you don't want to do nothing on their
Just a
ships?
stinky human who just eating, sleeping, sexing, like, you
Yeah, like
no
you're
contribution.
you may not be the contribution you think you are. You know, like making yourself a contribution to yourself would be the first order of business. Like get yourself straight.
Yeah.
You know, get some of that. Get right light.
Yeah.
Get some light. Get yourself straight. Recognize you're the responsible party in your life.
I just had a thought of how when we get ourselves together, it allows us to pop into a space where we can be of service to others. I've seen where like
Yes.
someone in depression, they start getting that nervous system regulated. They're eating a little cleaner, moving them parasites, getting some greens in them, meditating, getting some sunlight, touching the earth. Start, how can I help? You know, it's like they're able to expand beyond self.
It's so funny because I'm going back to what I said happened, I heard in Europe, but it's every word they said was true. We are overfed. We don't need to eat 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Unless you're growing, you don't need to eat 3 times a day. We're so overfed and overstuffed that our bodies are sluggish trying to digest the overabundance of what is mostly not even food. It's plastic and it's aluminum and it's a bunch of other
Yeah,
things,
chemicals
and
and
it's got parasites all over it. We don't realize the condition that we're in, that we keep exasperating by keep feeding it. We continue to feed it. We continue to feed ourselves the wrong thing. We don't understand that not everyone is the same. Not all food operates the same way in each blood type or each lineage, each genetic group, and that even if that were the case, we don't need to eat as much as we eat. We are eating too much. We need to be more in alignment with the idea of doing intermittent fasting, because then the blood can then move through cleaner with less additives and less chemicals in it, where your brain can begin to work. And then from that, you have enough energy to get up and clean up. You have enough energy to, oh, I thought of a new idea.
yeah,
And I have the energy to go do it.
where the body's not just busy processing digestion.
When you're full of drugs and alcohol and all the things that everyone likes to take, then your systems encourage you to want to expel energy by having sex. So then you use all your energy having sex, and you don't have any energy for anything else. Now you've got to take a nap. You got to
Be sleepy and hungry. Oversex, overfed. The race cycle.
yes. Oh, when you're over here, you're right here. So then you're constantly in desire of sex, which is not the normal condition for humanity to have sex every day.
Yeah.
It is not. So when you do, you don't have the energy to go invent something. You don't have the energy to run, a 3-mile race. You don't have the energy for those things. And of course, we have all the statistics that show the medical evidence of that and what happens with humanity, especially with men.
Yeah.
Well, we have all the evidence that proves all of this to be so. This is not a secret, that we are too stimulated. We're visually too stimulated. We're looking at things that are too stimulating.
Yeah, so stimulation in like all areas of our experience is not limited to.
Yes, so
to
that
one
you
area.
can't be free when you're full of food, that you don't digest the first food before you entering the second level of food, and you haven't digested that, and then you're starting to eat and then you're trying to digest while you're sleeping at night.
I just had a wild thought about the social media and how the feeds are, and it's like information, you take it in, but you haven't digested it. You just keep consuming.
And it's exactly the same
It's
thing, and so your brain never has a chance to have an original thought because you're still 20 swipes back. So one of the things I have noticed is that if I spend more than 10 or 15 minutes, I've got an overload of darkness.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing happy going on my feed.
What about them random cat videos or
That was-
animals, Seen some cute dog videos recently. Just saying, but it's like the 1% mix with, and there's not much. It's like ICE, Trump, DHS,
Royal Family
Minnesota,
in
Royal,
England.
and then a
Meghan
repeat
Markle
echo
and all that,
chamber
yeah.
rehash of the same.
And so that is not inspiring.
Yeah.
That's not giving you, and then in between you get, plenty of booty and booby pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of this, and I was thinking about this earlier, a lot of what the system is doing is keeping us in the lower self.
Of course.
No matter like who you are, male, female, whether it's sexualized or the food, it's just, everything is just
And
so
everything points to
primal.
the lower chakras, which is why we're doing light body. Everything points to, fear in the base chakra. It points to what's happening in the sacral chakra and the identity center. All of these things that keep us constantly in a situation where it's hard to break through and hard to stay in the higher fields. So many people naturally can move up to the higher fields, but they can't maintain it.
Yeah.
So being able to see and hear is fine, but staying there is something different, especially if your habits, if your appetites, if your food appetites and your drug appetites and your sexual appetites and your interest in what dark people are doing. You're like, if you're so interested, well, what else did they do?
Yeah.
And what other horrible thing, that keeps you in the lower centers. We know that that whatever they're doing, we don't need to do it and we don't need to learn how it's done. We just need to know we don't want it no more and let's get rid of it. So you don't have to know every detail of what everybody had on their fork to know that's not for you.
I agree.
So this is our appetite for that is so high that it keeps the feeds going.
Let's talk about that briefly before we break. The appetite. I feel like this still correlates with recognizing that those who humanity seem disgusted with, it's a reflection of what's inside of us subconsciously. Like there's a desire to see the negativity. It's almost like an addiction. And from what I see, like an impulse to keep binging on the worst or keep replaying and watch all the different footages of the way how the death occurred from the Ice Age and et cetera, et cetera.
Of course, we should be aware. However, the reality is the real way in which reality works is that the world outside of us is the world that's being reflected from inside of us at some levels. And it's not just now, it's our ancestry who were in accord with many, many, many things. None of this is new. Or the history of humanity, the part that is true and the part that, is obfuscated. So we are, until we decide collectively this is not the world we want to live in, we will continue to see, and that's what the timeline split is for. Those who want to continue to see it will. They're free to do that. That's the freedom
I like
they
that
get.
you're going this way because I wanted to ask, what do you say to people who are waking up or have been awakened, but, kind of look in this other area of their life and say, oh my gosh, like this demographic, whether it might be family or coworkers, have no clue about what's happening in terms of the awakening or truth, and they're still kind of within the normal routine of things. I feel like you're kind of speaking about it, whereas let them have what they have and just focusing on what you want or the difference that you want within your reality.
Our world is frequency. You decide you're going to be the truth, that you're going to walk this earth foot by footprint in informing the earth that you will be the truth. You will attract other frequencies that match that. And you will be demagnetized to those who don't want that. Those who want the lie, they have the right to have the lie in a free choice universe. Who are you to interfere with them?
Yeah. It's a great, solid perspective.
Yeah,
let
you
them have
decide
that.
who you are. You decide who you are. You work on you. Don't try to make anybody else do anything. If you resonate deeply and strongly and clearly enough, like I do with certain things, people will come and listen to you and hear what you have to say, and they will either agree or they won't agree, and that's all right.
That's right. Be the sun. Stay free.
Yes.
Then gave you some light, gave you some information. Take it or leave it. Go in the shade if you want to.
Right.
It's
It's really okay. You do not have to feel that you have to do this, especially with family. You do not have to feel like you've got to make your children or your parents be in agreement with what you have just learned or decided, because 6 years ago you learned and decided something else. 2 seconds from now you may learn and decide something else. The more solid you are in your clarity, the more you change the field around you that allows for them to be supported if what you are doing supports it. And with what you are doing does not support the direction of their trial and error learning on the earth plane, it's okay. We are eternal. They got a long time to learn, and it's all right. The Creator is so beneficent, there is no death. You just got, repeat the grade.
That right there sounds like freedom.
Yes. Then you are free of trying to make your children believe and understand things, make your parents who are definitely never going to change their minds about something. You are just free of that. You're free of thinking back the past of how somebody didn't do something. You can free yourself from that. Like, I'm free of what happened 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm free of what my mother said. I'm free of what my father said. They will have the trial and error experience of being on the earth plane just like I am. May they make the best of it. And my alignment and my obtainment will only help everyone who wants it. It's not going to hurt anyone, and it's going to help those who need that stabilization.
I feel like this is so powerful. Drop a comment and let us know how this, especially this last bit of information, is resonating, because I think that this is something many of us have a challenge with, especially those who are practitioners, healers. You learn a little something about food, you learn about the government, about energy, and then you want everybody to come on board, and then you mad because they won't get on board with your truth or the truth that you've come across, and it becomes problematic. But you are speaking about like this ultimate freedom that's established within laws and principles, and it feels so liberating just to hear you elaborate on it. But I can also hear, I see you all like, oh man, LaOta's talking about me. I need to do this with my brother or my mother or my family, my wife, my husband.
Well,
I'm gonna stay free.
Well, if you do not, there is more pain and suffering for you. If you feel like you must make them bend, you have to make them be flexible and bend to the will of what you have identified as the amount of truth that you currently have, which is forever changing.
Yeah.
Then there's only pain and suffering in that.
It sounds like in doing that, we become the enemy.
You are the enemy. You are the herders. You are the ones who are ruling, just like the rulers here in this world, who are trying to force us to see the world through the lens of what, see the half of a moon. See, like, make sure.
Fill in the blank of the conspiracy theory.
Whatever the conspiracy, like they're trying to make us do that, when in point of fact, once we do, it becomes the reality. Where if we just identify, let it be that you choose truth. Let the truth show you the way. And walk the earth with the clarity that it is truth that you really want. And then the truth will show you the next step. And the truth never shares if you go hit them on the head with a stick because they don't agree. There's no force in source. There's no force in source. There's no like, you got to sit down and listen to me because I got to make you understand.
Right. Because we got to get critical mass. We got to get you on board. It's like this. It feels so fear-based. It feels so
a mob.
Not understanding who and what you are.
You don't need a mob. You don't need.
To bop somebody else. It's funny. I could see them. Like with the truth, like it's so counterintuitive.
Frozen people in Italy or anywhere else. You don't need any of that to make the truth happen. There's many other ways. It's a limited dynamic when you have to force people. You have to have tanks and trunks and guns, and all of that is without imagination and without cohesion, because the reality is that once everybody decides something different, none of that's going to work. It already don't work. It tears up cities pretty good, but it don't really work. Yeah.
So with that being said, let's take a quick commercial break.
All righty.
I would love to keep going.
Oh no.
We will. After this quick commercial break, we're going to go to our sponsor, LaOta Inc. Check this out. We'll be back in about 40, 50 seconds to pick up the thread. We'll also go to the comments section as well, see what you all are talking about.
It's the most dangerous place to keep your money right now, and I'll prove it in 60 seconds. Most people think banks are safe. They believe their deposits are sitting in a vault with their name on it. But here's the truth. The moment you hand money to the bank, it's no longer yours. Legally, you're a creditor. And in a crisis, creditors are paid last, if at all. Banks don't protect your money. They use it. They lend it, they leverage it, and gamble it. If their bets go bad, you carry the risk. And if inflation rises, your safe savings lose. They lose value every single year. That's why millionaires don't park cash in banks. They park cash in assets. History proves it. Cyprus 2013, deposits frozen, savers lost billions. Argentina, Venezuela, Turkey, currencies collapsed, savings evaporated. Even in the US, over 500 banks failed since 2008. And yet, the central banks themselves are quietly stacking gold at record levels. Why? Because they know the real safety lies. Because they know where the real safety lies. So here's how you protect yourself. Keep only what you need for daily liquidity in the bank. Move the rest into assets that can't be frozen or printed. Things like gold, real estate, and private equity. Build a reserve outside the system so you own your money, not rent it. Start now, because the riskiest place to keep wealth is where everyone else feels safe.
Don't be renting your money.
Because that's what it is. You gotta encounter. I haven't personally encountered it, but I've seen videos of people saying that the bank asks, "Oh, so what do you plan on using this for?" Huh? It's like, it's my money. I heard somebody say transgender surgery. They didn't really mean it, but it was a dude. It was like a white American conservative. He was like messing with him, and I'm like, I love it. Take that. Now give me my money. Visit alukainc.com for wealth management, asset protection. Again, investing your money into gold, something that's real, stands the test of time, and clearly everyone's running back to it, all countries. So we are back, and we're talking about freedom.
Yes.
We're talking about flexibility, the direction of our life force, our energy. We were all over the place. I really loved where we were taking it today. It's so relevant from the macro to the micro. But I want to jump into some of the comments here, see what some of the people are saying. I've seen a couple of paragraphs here. So let's see here. And by the way, thank you all for joining us and sticking with us throughout the podcast.
Yay.
We trust that this has given you some value and really something to think about, and how you can pivot and remain flexible in like what we're confronted with.
Yes.
And not just getting stuck in the narrative and like, okay, here's a bit of data. Let me take it and move forward instead of the petrification from it. All right, so we got True Intention says, we are only heroes to our own souls once we pivot from falseness.
Yay.
Julianne says, I love the root of story as a filmmaker. I love stories of truth, one truth. However, I know so many stories in my head are not mine. My family of origin, the fear, scarcity, victim to the big man, the boogeyman, the man, the system. See, it's the system, my sister. Yeah, so I think, we all do have these narratives, and it's, I feel like this coincides with what we've been talking about, changing our identity, because the identity is influenced based off of the memory.
Oh my
and
goodness.
The stories that we tell us.
This comment opens up the whole idea, like, we need a new story.
Yeah.
Humanity loves story, but this is an old story. We need a new story where at the end of it, we're not being hit on the head with, and our carbon footprint being removed. We need a different story.
Indeed we do. Indeed we do. Shaka Warrior says, liberation comes from a willingness to flow with life rather than resist it.
Yes.
Flexibility reflects trust in timing and openness to growth, while rigidity binds us to fear, old patterns, and limitation.
Absolutely.
She's got a little more. You were one of the people I was talking about with paragraphs. Liberation comes from a willingness. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Oh no, that's it was so real she had to put it twice. And then she say, break it down, LaOta. Stagnation then is not fate, but a refusal. You mentioned something. This is for another podcast, but since there was a lot of overlap, you said something about like the refusal or denying the laws and principles. You remember that
Yes,
statement?
I remember that.
Would you kind of take us back to it?
To continue in the way that we are would be to deny the creator and the fraction of the fractal of creator that is in us, so that we deny the laws and principles of creation that show that we are greater, that we are the sun shining the reality into our reality. Instead, we deny it by allowing someone else to guide our way and make us feel like we are less. We allow the control systems that exist now to herd us into thinking we are nothing and we have to continue this. That is that is not them, that is us.
Yeah.
Denying the truth of our own identity.
That's a big one right there. So that's something for you all to chew on and
Ultimately,
digest.
it's always us. Ultimately, there are very few of them. Ultimately, it's always us.
Yeah. Straight up. You can take that to the bank. Matter of fact, nope, don't go to the bank. Listen to what Luca Inc. said. Because if you take it to the bank, they might not let you take it back out. Put it in your shoebox. Put it in your All right, we're going to go to True Intentions for 144. She has a paragraph here too. I'm not exactly where I need to be, but freed myself from a sick bed of 10 years. Trauma caused back surgery happened, and I went through over 23 illnesses. Wow. And extremely sensitive to the spirit realm. Unknowingly how sensitive I was, hold on a second, to the spirit realm caused extreme heaviness in the body. When I decided enough is enough, I started taking back my life slowly. I think that speaks to, we have to decide. By the way, I'm going to step away. I need to step out of the camera and to adjust something with the laptop. But the idea of when it comes to health issues, deciding that we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know, that we're over it. You have any thoughts on that, LaOta?
Deciding is the beginning of everything. Deciding gives the universe permission to assist us. If we don't decide, the angels and all of our loved ones and all of the ancestors are like, they're just waiting, like, go ahead, decide, you know, otherwise they're waiting to come in, but the law in the universe does not allow them to interfere with us without our permission. We must decide so that we can be supported by those who are non-physical, those who are spiritual, those who are ancestors, those who are angels. Creation itself, even nature, even the trees can't heal you unless you allow them to. Decision is permission for them to come in.
I'm going to say it because the guy is like, say it. You share with me when it comes to health, most people have to decide that they want to live, and many of us have not. When we're often confronted, we haven't decided. You know, I know there's people on the line who you've shared this with, and they thought, wow, I didn't even think about that. Do I want to live? Have I decided that I wanted to choose life? You know,
it's out of our range of thought that we have control. It has been stolen and absconded from us that we are the ones who decide whether we live or die. We don't think that. We think death comes up and drags us off like a woman to a cave.
Again, the stories
Yeah,
from the movies, the narratives.
And that's not the truth of how we live either. We live because we have the impetus to stay alive. We die when we're ready to die. Every person, no matter what their age is, either that has been their only plan or they have decided for whatever their own purposes are that they will come in and then they will leave. It is not happening the way you think it is. Someone shot them, they took their life. The person who got shot decided that they would leave to serve maybe a greater purpose or their own purpose. As long as we think that that decision is not ours, we lose. As long as we think that we can't stay alive if we want to, we lose.
I love how you're not keeping no victim cards on the table. You're like, yeah, take that out. Nope. Step into your power now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's that motherly energy.
It's the truth, you know. This is one of the largest areas where we have been really misled, that we think we're not in charge of our own lives. Of course you're in charge of your life. If you don't care enough, you're not going to be able to keep it.
Yeah, it's clearly a psyop from
It's a
those in
psyop.
authority who like continue to. That's the only way that they can stay in
like
this faux authority.
You have to take this or you will die. Well, if you believe that is most certainly what will happen.
And I was talking to you the other day about diabetes, or what was it, high blood pressure with the grapefruit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like they tell us don't eat grapefruit when you're on this medication, because if you do,
you might get healed.
Yeah, you just might not need us anymore.
And then a lifetime of prescriptions would be wasted.
Oh.
There's so many things that even in your determination to be alive, things become apparent to you. Like, I bet if I drank more of this or ate more of this, I would feel better. I would stay alive. I would have more interest. And then I would be in the sun, and then I would stand on the earth, and then I might plant something, and then I would be in charge of my own sovereignty for my own food. That might keep me alive. There's not, I don't think, many people on earth who are above 25 or 30 who haven't had the thought, is this all there is? Is this what this is? That's it? Do I really need to fight to keep this?
You know, I feel like it's happening even younger, you know, where they're just kind of looking at it. They can see, the younger generation can see through the BS. And it's weird because it's almost like a tapping out, but it's still within the realm of like, there's got to be more.
And because of that, people are not holding on to life.
Yeah.
Because of that, they're allowing themselves to catch something and go out. Because what's inspiring them to stay here?
True.
You know, so find your inspiration. Let your inspiration be that you'll create a world where all of us are excited to wake up every day. That there's more to it than what we've seen. Because this is limited and exhausting. Otherwise.
That's one way to put it. How about we go to at least like 2 more comments, maybe
Absolutely.
3, depending, and before we wrap up, because we're a little over time, but you all are still sticking with us. You clearly want to be here. So Leon Eddie, one of our fairies, says, I literally keep trying to delete social media and go on a cleanse. But then I feel like I don't know what's going on in the world, and people around me come trying to tell me, and I download it again. And so I got to be stronger and really honest. I think honest with my focus. Again, you guys bring so much clarity and confirmation. Social media cleanse is definitely the move.
I love this, and I want you to know that if you were not on social media, now that you are on social media, what news do you have? What happened yesterday? What happened the day before? What news that makes a difference has happened? Are there people in other countries rioting? Is that news that will support your growth and development right now? I mean, my point is that one, they're keeping international news from you. Then they're keeping national news from you if it has a spin that's not directly in support of what's going on. So is social media the place to get your news? I have managed to live a long time off social media, not knowing the news, and I'm still okay. You know, and people still tell me what I need to know. What I need to know comes to me because I have set an intention that what I need to know comes. If I need to, my guidance to my ancestors, if I need to know something, let me know. If they're not knocking on the door, it's not news for me. I don't need to know it. If I need to get up and go somewhere or go get some groceries, I'm making that arrangement with the ones who are in my circle. Social media is not my daddy. It's not going to tell me what I'm supposed to be upset about. It's not going to feed me what I'm supposed to know.
So I got a couple of perspectives.
And I'm not going to miss it
build on
if
this.
I don't talk to it.
So something I have felt very much like I go periodically when I end up doing a food fast. Simultaneously, I do a fast from social media. It's just in tandem. It happens naturally, and I think it's a really good thing to support it because it's again what you consume, right? And one of the things I have noticed is that you don't really miss much.
Well, because there isn't much out there.
Yeah,
And
it's
so you don't know what Kate Middleton did. You don't know what the royal family in Europe is doing. You don't know what other horrible thing Jeffrey and his crew did.
yeah, and then to build on that, something that I've noticed is like, okay, do we not know all the? It's just like you said about getting wrapped up in the narrative. We know what's what. Like, okay, we know there's a group of people trying to kill us humans. They're trying to poison us. You know, we know our history has been a lie. We know that we're beings of light. We know we're consciousness. We know we need to hit that critical mass. We got purpose. Like, what more do we need in terms of like the narrative of the story? Like, what's really happening with the exchange? You know what I
They
mean?
control the story. We get to evaluate the facts. It rained something that it snowed something that ain't snow.
Yeah.
That's not in the social media news explaining it. It's just noting it.
Yeah, people are like, look, this snow, this don't look like what I remember.
Yeah, but they're not explaining it.
Yeah.
And if it's on your porch or on your trees or in your yard, you already know. You know, like, and you aren't positioned to do anything other than work with your ancestors and guidance to make sure it doesn't affect you. You can talk to your body to make sure whatever biochemical thing it is, that it don't take you out. That ain't on social media.
Yeah, they're not telling you what to do. It's just the fear of what is.
Just
and I feel
remember
like that's
that
what we
the
get consumed
story
in.
is how we are controlled.
Yeah.
That means the news. The news is how they control us. They release only what they want us to know. The people who are talking, Candace and all of them, are only talking because they're being allowed to talk. Anybody who sounds like they're a rebel and they're being allowed to speak. Once you understand that, then it changes your dynamic. You say, oh, wonder why they letting her talk again all the time. You know,
Yeah.
why is that? Why are they letting this person speak?
Look at the monkey.
Yes.
Look over here.
Yeah, so whenever the person you're getting your news from that you feel, just remember that that is all the packaged narrative. Otherwise, you wouldn't be hearing it. That's why you don't
Yeah.
hear what's going on in other countries, because that has not been packaged yet. So it's like, don't even give them that. I have to go to India. When I want to know what's going on, I have to go to India news.
Yeah, watch that international news to report on what's happening over here.
And they start talking about what's happening in America. And I'm like, oh, look at that.
It's stripped out, but it's so true.
So this is all to support the comment about social media. I understand the fear of thinking you won't know what's going on, but you work with people, they're going to tell you, and you don't need to be contaminated by the narrative, because the narrative is always where the lie is. The facts, the snow falls, that's a fact. The reason why it falls, they don't tell you anyway, and they don't tell you what it is. They told you it was snow, and you can see it's not snow, so you
Yeah.
can't believe them.
Snow ain't snowing.
Yeah.
People over here putting lighters to the snow. Like, what else do you need to know? So there's one more comment I'd like us to read, because we're a little over time, but this speaks to like a little head nod to what you were saying earlier. Your analogy between food consumption and doom scrolling is deeply perceptive. Just as we are mindful of what we feed the body, we must also be conscious of what we feed the mind and spirit. So it's
Absolutely.
just supporting essentially what you were just saying.
Absolutely, we are not separate from our dimensional bodies and our energetic aspects, emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental. We are not separate from that. So just as the food you eat contaminates your stomach, it contaminates your brain as well,
Yeah.
which then contaminates your ability to structure thoughts inside your mind, and also can make you paranoid or make you want to live or make you want to die. All of that's in the food.
And in the
And then the social media.
Yeah, I literally see it. It's like the coding and the information in the food has been distorted. The coding and the information that's translated through visual and the perception, and it distorts thought in what could be and generates or perpetuates some of the status quo.
Yeah, so the solution is stand on the earth under the sun and call for the truth. And if you go to sleep at night, call for correction. Call for all this to be correct. Your coding to be cleared. Get defragged.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Defrag yourself. So we're a little over time, but I want to give some final thoughts and comments on announcements. So for anyone, if you resonated again, drop a comment, say resonate, put a little sun emoji or something. Let us know that you really found value in this. And if this is your first time following us on or listening and tuning in and you like what you're hearing, hit the like, hit the bell notification to stay tuned. We're here every Thursday at 12 noon, LaOta and I, diving into these highly vibrational conversations of how to just really navigate in truth and embody who we really are in the current status of our world. And also, you can catch Diane of the Sun in Lakesh Studio 1 every Wednesday, 12 noon for weekly meditation, and Fridays for Evolutionary Book Club, as well as Divination group card pools. For anybody who wants to work with us and you're like, where can I start? I'm interested in taking classes, maybe getting services. Go ahead and schedule a free discovery call with us. We can show you the different paths, the introductory classes, and even work your way up to taking some of the advanced classes that LaOta and I teaches. There's a link in the description. You just go to ofthesun.com. You scroll down, you're going to see book a discovery call with us, and it's complimentary. So it doesn't hurt to find out what we have to offer, and you have everything to gain. And so again, that's pretty much what I wanted to share. Again, a lot of the announcements were at the front end of the conversation, but you have any final thoughts before we conclude?
No, I'd like to give the greetings of Lakesh and Veritas, and I'd like for you to feel the significant amount of honor, respect, and gratitude we have for you, and we hope that we will encourage you to have for us. Thank you. Lakesh and Veritas.